Happening, guys? I'm Jude Hodep. I am the Conscious Money Coach, your sacred Sherpa on this wild soul journey. That's what I always say in my podcast. I just love that. Sacred Sherpa. Are you artistic like I am? Do you love a good turn of phrase? I love words. When my niece was young, my grandma would always be like, she's got Dennis the Menace hands. And she did, like, from birth. She was just like, I don't know, with her hands. I don't know what those two things have to do with each other, but yeah, that's a story. Money. So what do I do? You know, I'm a life coach, but I'm the conscious money coach. So I really work on conscious money creation and helping women entrepreneurs, own your goddess, jailbreak your soul, and wildcraft more revenue. So that's what I do. I help you make more money, basically, and all the things that come up around that, relationships and the past, and creating more money, and imposter syndrome, and feeling inadequate, and grasping, and the energy behind it, and the mind, and the how of everything, right? So I want to talk to you about sufficiency and that energy that you come from when you're in your business and you're making money. You know, what's the energy you're coming from, and how do you have sufficiency while you're working on making more money? And what if you're going from penniless to prosperity? Many of us are, right? Many of you out there, many of my clients are going from penniless to prosperity. You know, how do you make $1 million in your business? And how do you do it on an indigenous timeline as a woman, your own indigenous timeline? And that includes your relationship and connection to your body and your spirit, your higher self, because that's where the answers to your timing and all of that is. But then how do you, I don't like the word grind. I don't like the word hustle. It's not that the word itself has an issue, but it's like when you have that energy, what are you creating in your business? Are you connected to your body? Are you connected to your higher self and your soul and your destiny? And like, what's this destiny thing all about? And I think that destiny and ego and some of these terms that get thrown around, I think they're amazing when you have a definition that you love for them, but it's not somebody else's definition. And it's also, if it doesn't have a definition that's clearly defined for you, I think that it can really create just a nothingness, not helpful, not anything, or it can create like superstition and like fear and, phobia and like paranoia. And it's just so unnecessary. The mind, the ego, the primitive brain, default brain, habit brain, it's all basically the same thing, but it's nice as a coach to really clarify that sometimes for you. Like, are you in your default brain? Use your higher mind, your prefrontal cortex, to talk to that primitive brain from Neanderthal times to say, hey, let's stop averting everything, having this aversion to everything and resisting what we don't want, because that makes it grow in intensity and pressurizes it. And let's stop grasping at what we do want and craving it and longing for it and hoping for it and thinking about it in a way that's not useful to our actual money creation. And then I hear so many people, they're like, no, I'm not going to get coaching because I don't have the money. But how do you create it? Now I'm not you, but I have, when I was working on certifications and learning and trainings and things, like I would not pay rent to get into coaching because I knew that would change my life and move my life forward, or I could stay in the same place and pay rent. Now I didn't do that for long, I worked it out and what have you. And it's also not great to put your nervous system in a place where it can't handle what was happening and can't handle, like not knowing about those things. But I knew I'd be okay. I worked it out to where it would work, but I was like, I got to take this risk and do this to change my life because I'm doing all this. This doesn't work, and that's just who I am. Like, I take risks. I go after the life I really want, no matter what. And, I just pick up and travel, or I just pick up and move cold. Moving cold kind of stinks sometimes because you don't know anybody there yet. I recommend, go to the city you want to live in, get to know people, do some things you love, and talk to people then, and like start building relationships before you move warm. That's my recommendation, and scout a little bit. But I've moved cold a lot in my life, and just like, I'm ready, I'm going, I'm out. And So like, what's the energy that you come to your money with? Is it this grasping craving, this like, let me get away? No, like, I don't want to look at my money numbers. Are you avoiding them? Are you spending without consciousness and just being like, well, I hope the numbers don't go down so far and don't look? Are you looking at your bank account every day and having that conversation, that relationship with your money there? So let's say you're going from penniless to prosperity and you're really in a place where you're getting yourself out of debt, building your business, working on your craft, or just working on making more money. You know, what are the old stories that are going on for you? What's the energy? Are you avoiding your money numbers? Are you clear what's in your accounts and where your money's at and what you have? Are you clear on what you want to spend it on? And when you are dealing with money in any way, what's coming up? And are you allowing that to come up and then looking at it and doing mindset work? So what is mindset work? So in coaching, we take this really deep, but here's some basics. Do a brain dump every day, a page or a large paragraph. And I don't recommend any more than a page because you don't want to get into a perpetuation of negativity. I don't recommend any less than a big, long paragraph because you want to do it with your hand, not on a computer. There's something about the hand-body, mind-body connection that is really, really powerful. It's really important. And so write, journal on, do a brain dump, get everything out of your brain and onto the page of what's coming up for you. So you can I recommend doing daily practice to clean your brain. You clean your kitchen, maybe 3 times a day, the counter, but do you clean your brain once a week even? So clean your brain out, brain dump, everything out on the page once a day. That's just minimum bare mindset work. But one of the things you can do, and you can do that in beautiful ways once you start getting a handle of the junk that your brain is like up there chattering away about all the time. Once you kind of like understand the trash can of the mind that's not helpful, then you can do some really fun, brain dumps. But at first you just want to get on to what your brain is talking about in your mind all day long. And is it helpful? Is it useful? Is it moving you towards more money creation or less money creation? But on this specific topic, when things come up about your money, if you're going from penniless to prosperity, what is that specific thread? And then can you go do a brain dump on it and find out what is all of that? And is it a matter of healing? Is it a matter of just kind of like getting some understanding? Is it a matter of really understanding, how do you feel? How are you feeling? Are you feeling anxious, scared, afraid, stressed, doubt, worry? Because obviously any of those feelings are going to drive actions that don't create money in your business. It's going to drive behaviors of escapism, avoidance, and so forth, not money creation. It's going to drive like game playing, mental masturbation, game playing type stuff that you don't want to be doing with your money creation. You want to be so clear on your money creation. You want your mind to be clear. You want your goals to be clear. But it takes that process of doing it to get there. And you can make money along the way. So it's not about fear of, where you're at in your beautiful process. If you're somewhere in the middle and you're in your business and you're working to grow your revenue, what is your mind up to? What's the drama it's giving you? There's the facts that you're creating a program, or the facts that you're writing a book, or the facts that you have this much amount in your bank account, this much amount in a stock account, this much amount in Bitcoin, this much amount here and there and what have you, or you're renting an Airbnb or whatever you're doing. So those are the facts. Now, what you think about that, well, I don't have much, so I don't want to lose it. Well, I'm scared. All of that is the brain and the mind that's not going to help you create more money. It's not useful to you. So you want to get a hold of that so you can start seeing what your brain is up to and start practicing what you want to think. But before we can practice what we want to think, we need to know what the brain is thinking already. Now, those thoughts aren't you. A lot of it's just viral belief systems, programming from being a human in a body. They've been floating around the planet for 2,000 years. Anything that's, oh my gosh, I want to get away, or oh my gosh, I need to get, it's just this stuff's been around for eons. There's a thought sphere around the planet, and all these thoughts are there. Some weird thoughts your brain has, it's like, you weren't the first one to ever think that. Everybody's got this brain up there, right? So, but it's about really your brain not being the enemy and really not avoiding what it's up there doing. And then you can start to be like, okay, this is what my default primitive brain is doing. I'm going to use my rational brain to talk back to it and start reprogramming the default brain with what I want to think about my money situation. That I have money. I will always be okay. I've always been okay. It's not fun sometimes to be without money as much as you'd like or need or want or what have you, but you're okay. You're not bleeding. And if you're bleeding, you get stitches. So that's okay too. It doesn't feel okay. And that's what we really want to get to. How do you feel? Because joy, inspiration, motivation, commitment, willingness feels amazing. So what I want you to do with sufficiency is how can you get to sufficiency while you're also wanting to make money? What makes you feel sufficient? Do things for yourself. Go for walks, take good care of yourself, take long showers, eat luxurious meals, eat slowly and fix the whole meal. Being single, I got into a habit of like standing up and eating and just eating on the go and eating really quick. And I had to kind of unravel some time stuff because I was like, from youth, I was like, let me do this real quick. Well, whatever. No, I'm not going to go quick. I'm going to go as long as I need to, and I'm going to eat this egg really slowly. And there's like chewing, that's good. I think it's like really good to chew your food. It's like, it's a good thing. People even say that in the health coaching world. Chew your food. So I don't mind eating standing up. I just like to stand to do anything, everything. But it was like, am I actually present with my meal and enjoying it and like knowing that I'm eating in tune and in touch with my body and in my body and like having this meal. And so it's like, can you be outside making money and thinking about the creation in your business or your book or what you're working on? And can you be in your body feeling and allowing the having of the money you have now? Or if stress comes up, it's like, okay, stress, it's not true. I see you, I can feel you, it's all right. You can allow this emotion and just taking breaths and being with that. Now, sometimes when you're having emotional storms, you need to take a walk, exercise, move that shit out somehow. You might just need to bawl and purge and cry it out, whatever works for you. You want to stay out of the mind, which perpetuates and pressurizes emotional storms, though, and just stay in the emotions and allow the emotions to purge and come out naturally. And the more you do this beautiful work, the more that won't be a question of what's the difference. You just have to go through the process and do it, and then you'll start to get to know it. And you'll always be human with the brain. So there's always going to be something that comes up somewhere in your life or something that happens that creates some tears or creates emotional storm or some anger. So learn to deal with it and process it now around, and especially while you're creating money in your life, and do this beautiful work for yourself. What gets you to feeling sufficiency? When I was working to create just a basics level of money in my life, I had to go ahead and spend money for a manicure. I had to go ahead and spend money for a massage. I had to, not all of them maybe in 1 week or 1 month even, but I had to make sure I got the chocolate that I liked. I had to make sure I took myself out to eat once in a while. It may have been a $10 meal, but it was sitting down in a restaurant out to eat, feeling like a normal, normal person, but feeling like I'm able to do something out in the world that I want to do and not restricted. And so it's like, where are you feeling restricted, and how can you somehow do something for yourself around that makes you feel sufficient while you're working on making more money in your life? That's the beautiful kind of middle road, like Buddha path, the Zen of making money. It's like sufficiency with where you're at now by self-nourishing and providing for yourself what you need. For a long time, it's like, okay, I get my hair done and I go to the gym. But I realized also too that I didn't reassess that. That was a good place for a little while in my life, but it was like, okay, I'm creating money, I'm doing new things in my life, everything's very unfamiliar. I'm doing such monumental things and changing and growing so much. I need to do things for myself. I need to take myself out to eat, even for an inexpensive meal. I need to go get my hair done and just try like really new places. And so I'm going to leave you with that, and just really self-nourish. How can you feel sufficient? Do mindset work, do your daily brain dumps, do your brain dumps in the moment when something comes up, so you can just deal with it right away when what emotions come up from those thoughts. And then keep making money while feeling sufficient. So making more money, creating more money while feeling sufficient. Those two beautiful worlds together as one. I have a beautiful Facebook group for women called the Wild Soul Journey over on Facebook. I have a YouTube channel called The Conscious Money Creation. You can check that out. If you want to book a discovery coaching call with me, I take very few clients. You can do that at lifecoachjude.com. And then I have my Conscious Money Creation podcast, which I love. I do poetry slams on there, but about money, and I do fun, weird, crazy, different things. I just keep mixing it up, and it's so much fun. So I hope that really serves you. I hope it's interesting and helpful and really helps you with your money creation. I'm sending you so much love. I really appreciate you watching this, and I will talk to you next time.